In the dark and beside the crackling fireplace, I bring to you two haunting stories from the far reaches of Bavaria, where the ethereal and the physical collide, blurring the lines between fantasy and reality. Amüsieren Sie sich.
I was in Munich then. The flames crackle and hiss, casting flickering shadows on the walls. A chill hangs in the air, a perfect night for sharing stories that send shivers down your spine. 2:30 a.m., the witching hour, the time when logic sleeps and fear takes hold. It was at this precise time that I awoke with a start, a cold sweat clinging to my skin. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. My heart pounded in my chest as I listened intently. The silence was deafening, each second stretching into an eternity. I could feel the blood rushing in my ears, a constant reminder of my growing anxiety. Every creak and groan of the house seemed amplified, echoing through the stillness of the night. Silence. Then, a floorboard creaked just outside my bedroom door. The sound was sharp, slicing through the quiet like a knife. I froze, my breath caught in my throat. Was it just the house settling, or was there someone out there? My mind raced with possibilities, each more terrifying than the last. Slowly, cautiously, I crept towards the sound, my hand trembling as I reached for the doorknob. The cold metal felt like ice against my skin, sending a shiver down my spine. I hesitated, my mind screaming at me to turn back, but curiosity and fear pushed me forward. What awaited me on the other side? What I saw next will forever be seared into my memory. The image was so vivid, so haunting, that it felt like a scene from a nightmare. My eyes widened in horror, my body frozen in place. I wanted to scream, to run, but I was rooted to the spot, unable to move or make a sound. A tall, gaunt figure stood in the hallway, its back to me. The figure was eerily still, as if it was waiting for something. The dim light cast long shadows, making the figure appear even more menacing. I could feel the weight of its presence, a dark and oppressive force that seemed to fill the entire hallway. It was draped in what looked like a long black coat, its edges ragged and undefined. The coat seemed to move on its own, as if it was alive, whispering secrets in the darkness. The figure's silhouette was sharp and angular, a stark contrast to the soft, flowing fabric of the coat. It was a sight that defied explanation, a mystery wrapped in shadows. Fear coiled like a serpent in my gut. It was a primal, instinctual fear, the kind that grips you and won't let go. My hands were shaking, my legs felt like they were made of lead. I could barely breathe. Each inhale a struggle against the crushing weight of my terror. I knew I had to do something, but what? Who was this intruder? And what was he doing in my home? Questions swirled in my mind, each one more urgent than the last. I needed answers, but I was too afraid to move, too afraid to confront the figure in the dark. My home, my sanctuary had been invaded, and I was powerless to stop it. The night stretched on, each second a torment, as I stood there, trapped in my own fear. Mustering every ounce of courage, I threw open the door and switched on the hallway light. But the figure was gone. Vanished. I searched frantically, my heart pounding in my ears, but there was no trace. Only the lingering chill in the air and the echo of my own terror served as reminders of that night.
My story is about a moment of truth. Have you ever felt a presence, a warmth, a sense of peace that you couldn't quite explain? I have. And it happened during one of the darkest periods of my life. Reeling from a devastating loss, I found myself standing on a precipice, staring into the abyss of despair. One stormy night, As I sat by the window, tears streaming down my face, I felt an overwhelming sense of despair. The rain outside mirrored my inner turmoil, each drop a reflection of my sorrow. The world felt heavy, and I was drowning in my own emotions, unable to find a way out. The darkness of the night seemed to seep into my soul, making everything feel even more hopeless. Suddenly, I felt a shift in the atmosphere. The room seemed to brighten, though no light source could be found. It was as if an invisible hand had gently lifted the veil of darkness, allowing a soft, ethereal glow to fill the space. The air around me felt charged with a strange, comforting energy, and I could sense that something extraordinary was about to happen. And then, I saw him. A luminous figure. He was really tall, had long black straight hair. He was very handsome. There was just one thing that was scary. He had small white horns coming out of his long black hair. I couldn't take my eyes off him. I wasn't scared. I felt safe. His eyes, filled with an otherworldly compassion, met mine. They seemed to look deep into my soul, understanding all my pain and sorrow without a single word being spoken. There was a depth to his gaze that I had never encountered before, a profound empathy that made me feel seen and understood in a way I had never experienced. It was as if he knew every struggle, every heartache, and still looked at me with unconditional love. I couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. A wave of peace washed over me, calming the storm within. It was as if all my fears and anxieties were being gently erased, replaced by a profound sense of tranquility. My heart, which had been heavy with sorrow, now felt light and free. I was in awe of the transformation happening within me, unable to fully comprehend the magnitude of this ethereal encounter. A feeling of being understood, of being loved unconditionally. In that moment, I realized that I was not alone, that there was a greater force at work, guiding and comforting me. The sense of understanding and unconditional love that emanated from him was overwhelming, filling me with a newfound hope and strength. It was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always light to be found, and that we are never truly alone. With hope and happiness. And then, as quickly as he had appeared, he was gone. It was as if he had never been there, a fleeting moment that left an indelible mark on my soul. The room felt colder, emptier, but there was a lingering warmth in my heart that I couldn't quite explain. I was left with a profound sense of peace, a feeling that I was not alone, even in the vastness of the universe. The stars seemed to shine a little brighter that night, as if they were whispering secrets of the cosmos to me. Standing there, surrounded by the quiet beauty of nature, I felt a connection to something greater than myself, that I was loved and protected even in my darkest hour. The touch of his hand, though brief, had conveyed a lifetime of comfort and reassurance. It was as if he had transferred a part of his strength to me, a silent promise that I would never be alone, no matter what challenges lay ahead. To this day, I don't know if what I experienced was real or a figment of my grief-stricken mind. The line between reality and imagination blurred in those moments, leaving me to question the nature of my own perceptions. But whether it was a ghostly visitation or a creation of my own psyche, it brought me a sense of closure and understanding. But one thing is certain, that encounter, real or imagined, changed me. It altered the way I viewed the world and my place within it. I began to see signs of his presence in the smallest of things, A gentle breeze, a flickering candle, a sudden feeling of warmth. These moments became reminders that love transcends the physical realm. It gave me the strength to go on, to believe in a brighter future. Each day became a testament to his enduring influence on my life. I found solace in the belief that he was watching over me, guiding me towards a path of hope and resilience. And in that belief, I discovered a newfound courage to face whatever the future held.
The flames have dwindled, my friends, but the stories remain, etched in the shadows of our memories. Were these encounters mere tricks of the mind, or something more? The answer, like the figures in my tales, remains shrouded in mystery. Perhaps that's where the true terror and the true wonder lies.